Hi, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. It's been a couple of days, but it's been a busy couple of days because I was determined to finish up all of the crochet projects from the Mystery Yarn Challenge 624 from Lori over at Armchair Chef. Lori, I finished. So everything's falling. When you have a pile of like 10 projects next to you, it's hard to keep them all in one spot. What fell? Thought something fell. Well, I guess I'll find out later when I find out what's missing. The first thing I finished is my mesh sweater. It's really hard to get the whole thing in here, so I'll put up the picture of me wearing it. Now, I did deviate from the pattern a little bit. I did the same. I did the basic pattern, that mesh, that was like 3 single crochets and the chains, and then you put the double crochets and the double crochets and the chains over the chains. I did that. But like for yarn, I pulled some yarn out of stash. There it is. It was a Hobby Lobby discount, $1.74 a skein. I used half of 2 skeins because I wanted the bottom to start with the center blue. Problem is, for one of the skeins, it started with more of a gray than a blue, but close enough. Okay, so I pulled it out and I thought, this looks like a bulky yarn. No, they recommended a size E hook. No, 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 no. I'm not making a plus size sweater with tiny little yarn and a size E hook. So I decided I would double it up. Well, it was so fuzzy, you couldn't see where your stitches were. Okay, that's not going to work. So I had lots of white, off-white, that came in a yarn gift. So I did 1 strand of the white and 1 strand of the Hobby Lobby yarn. And first I did a measurement. I measured bust and hip, took the bigger of the two, cut that number in half, and that was the width that I was shooting for this sweater. I did foundation single crochet until I got to that width, and then I checked her, like your stitch count was supposed to be a multiple of this plus that. I thought I had the right number. Well, when I got to the end of my first row, is this it? No, it must be over here was the end. Maybe not. Oh, yes. Well, there was a place when one of these three stitches, right here, it's right here. Instead of three double crochets in a row, there's only 2 because I was running out of stitches, and there's only 2 there. So I have 2 shorter blocks. Yeah, nobody's going to notice. I know it's there, and you see how long it took me to find it. So I made the 1 block. I got out one of my favorite sweaters, and I kept holding the block up to it until I thought it was a good length. So this is longer than the sweater that she shows. The sweater she shows is more of a crop, and this goes down to the hips. Then I made another panel, same size. Then I laid them out on top of the favorite sweater, and I marked where my neck would be and where the sleeve would be. And I crocheted across the neck. I single crocheted the shoulders and did 1 extra row of single crochet across the back so that I would have less yarn ends to tuck in. Then I went on to the sleeves. So I had this laying flat, the front and the back laying flat, and I started at the armpit and did the three double crochets in the chain around, and then I joined them at the bottom of the arm so I wouldn't have a seam to sew later. And I had measured, like on the body, figured, okay, I'm going to have to do like 16 rows. Wrote out on a sheet of paper, like, okay, rows 1, 2, and 3, you're just doing even, same number. Row 4, let's decrease 1 stitch. So in round 4, one of the 3 double crochet groups went down to 2. Then I think I did 1 more row even, and then every row after that, 1 more of the 3 double crochets went down to 2. And then I got down to maybe about here on the sweater, and they were all 2 double crochets. So then I started shortening up the chain between them, going from a chain 2 down to a chain 1. So it was pretty small. I think it was 18 stitches when I got up to the end. So then I just, without cutting my yarn, I picked up stitches around the edge and I knit like a little 1-inch ribbing cuff because I like my sweaters to fit nice and cozy. And then I did the same thing for the other arm and I finished. Problem is, now that I have a nice warm sweater, we are supposed to get like record high temperatures this week. So I'm not going to be wearing this very much this week. Okay, after I finished that, I was working on, I think they call it the beginner's tote bag. I made it in primary colors. Yellow, orange, blue. Ta-da! Finished that. And this holds a lot of stuff. In fact, right now, it's holding the rest of the items I made for the Mystery Yarn Challenge 624. I started out the night that Lori announced the projects making one of the chickens from Cinnamon Stitches. And I had such fun making that chicken. I made another one. Okay, you go in the chicken bag. And another one. So I have made 3 chickens. And I probably will make more. Chicken bag, chicken bag. I also got to making some squares using the patterns of the various stitches. Let's see. First was the ice cream stitch. Ta-da! I made this one. Then I made one with the tulip stitch. Ta-da! And I seem to have a little problem with the consistency. Like the ice cream stitch is a lot longer. So then this morning I finished up the strawberry stitch. Is that the right side? No. Wait a minute. Which is the right side? Yeah, that was the right side. There we go. Field of strawberries. Now, I think I would like to try to vary this stitch a little bit to put more of a neutral color between the strawberries to make them stand out a bit. But, you know, I was saying that I wasn't very consistent with the square sizes. I mean, look at this one. They were supposed to be the same size. They're not. So I will probably build up around the sides with different colors and try to get everybody about the size of the strawberry and then see how that goes. You know how much green I had left after I finished this one? That much. I cut that close. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the bag, 6 for the chickens. I feel like I'm missing something here. I thought there were 8. 7 for the hat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lori, what am I missing? Mesh, sweater, beginner tote, scarf. Oh, my scarf. Where's my scarf? Okay, I will put a picture up here of the scarf that I made. I took the instructions for the 3-hour scarf, and instead of using just regular worsted weight or bulky yarn or something like that, I used the old sachet type, the ruffle yarn, but I held it together and used a really big hook. And once I ran out of yarn, I sewed it together. I made myself a cowl, and I really like it. And when I wore it out shopping on Monday, it got compliments. So I am done with the crocheted items for the challenge. Now it's time to move on to the knit. I have done 3 knit projects. So if I do 5 more knit projects, then I will ace both of the challenges. And I told Lori, I'm coming for you. I'm going to ace both. We shall see. I mean, baby booties? Yeah, I could make some baby booties. The knit bag, spiral knit hat. Yeah, I can make the hat. Christmas pudding bath bomb. That sounds interesting. I'll look that one up. And there's a flounder. It's like a knit dishcloth that looks like a fish. Definitely making that. Afternoon stroll cowl. Yep, I can always use another cowl. I like having a warm neck in the winter. Strawberry bobble stitch. I think I've had enough strawberry bobble stitch for a while. You know, I started this yesterday. I worked on this a lot yesterday. I started it again this morning, about 7 o'clock this morning. And I kept working on it and working on it. And I did have to take some breaks. I didn't finish it till almost 3 o'clock. There was a lot of time put into this one. So I think I'm sort of strawberry stitched out for a while. But I'll see if I can ace the knit without doing another strawberry stitch. Yeah. So now I feel like I just have some freedom. I can go work on something else. I'll just do a few things from my summer bucket list. Maybe I'll start one of the projects that's on my list for June, like the fish that I want to make from the Ami book that I have, the Ami book challenge, or the bought not made. What was that this month? Avocado. So it's like a little cat with an avocado belly. Or I have yarn out by my chair. I want to make a loaf cat in a pastel rainbow. So much to do. So little time. So, yes, I finished something. I am so psyched for that. And I made myself a sweater. I have not made myself a sweater probably in 10 years. And I used discount yarn and Yarn Gift. So I made that sweater for myself for probably $2 worth of materials. And I like it. And I live in the Buffalo area. We get cold in the winter. I wear lots of sweaters. So now I have a sweater to wear. So I would like to thank Lori for stretching my horizons with this challenge, because I don't think on my own I ever would have attempted strawberry stitch or the ice cream cone stitch or the tulip stitch. Those stretched me a bit. And I definitely think I would not have made a crocheted tote. This one was a yarn guzzler. This thing probably weighs over a pound. It used up a lot of yarn. So I was doing some rearranging this morning. I emptied out one underbed tote. I'm going to give that to my daughter. Move stuff into some of these bags that I got from Temu. Got about a dozen skeins of yarn entered into inventory so they're not just lying in a bag here on the floor. I think I deserve some yarn time. So I think I'm going to take my messy hair, don't care, get it done bun, out to my chair and just play with yarn. Bye-bye.